playing today. Some really interesting stuff from all of you. Like really nice, thoughtful playing, nice bass playing. You want to take your bass out? Sure. You want to just play imaginary bass? Yeah, you can play through the case. Exactly. So I get the fun job of giving a couple of awards for just some exceptional playing today. The first award goes to Nick. Great fun, Nick.
Thank you.
Really, really nice. Also, killer tie.
Thank you.
Well, I can tell.
That's the second one.
And then the next one goes to Josh on bass. Okay, I just want to talk about some small things, little things that happened, and also just some small concepts. And we have such a short time here. I'd love to work with you guys for like 2.5 hours, but it's just not the nature of it, okay? So can we start with, it could happen to you. Can we just start and I'll stop you guys? And we can see what happens. Marissa, you sing on this one, right? Mm-hmm. Now, that key, it's in E flat, right? And that's the original key. Did you guys ever discuss different keys because Marissa's singing on it?
They said no.
Did you want to do it in a different key?
I didn't know what key.
You didn't know what key, right?
No.
You guys should have done it in a different key.
Okay.
Because when there's a singer involved, you should always adjust your key to them. Even if, like, so Marissa, you play 2 instruments, you sing and play sax. Is there one that you do more than the other, or
I do this one.
do you do that more? Do you just sing for fun, or do you sing like in a band, or do you do stuff for fun? Well, I mean, we all sing for fun. That's it. So a big part about like learning when you're singing is learning the keys that you can sing in, and that's like a hard thing to figure out, right? Like it's to sit down. So what I would say is just be aware of that too. Like usually the keys that twos are in are not the right keys for a singer. Like E flat and B flat and A flat usually just doesn't work. It's always like the key that they want to play, and it's always like B major or E major. And you're like, ah. But it's a really great exercise for you guys too, because you guys have to play in keys that you're not used to playing in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just getting that sweet spot. You still sounded great. I'm just like nitpicking it because it's like, oh, it would have sounded so much better, just a little bit lower, a little bit higher, just like a mid-range stuff. But I still love it. So can we start at the beginning of that? And E flat.
Yeah. So, you guys on the intro, right?
Can we do head?
Yeah, let's just take it from head. So just start from head.
Josh. It's fast.
Can I just sing and then you guys?
That's fine.
Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Hide your heart inside, lock your dreams at night. It could happen.
Let's do the first pitch.
You go and play it on piano or something.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
okay. Usually, and you guys don't have a chordal player in here, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But that's usually the pianist that would do it. Do it one more time. That's a nice tempo. I like it.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Hide your heart inside, lock your dreams at night. It could happen to you. Don't count stars or you might stumble. Someone drops a sigh and down you tumble. An iron string
are you guys gonna change when the solo starts? What are you guys gonna do differently?
We should have done like 4 on the floor.
I mean, you don't have to do that every time. You don't have to. But a little change would be nice, because especially because you don't have chords, which is, again, nice. As a piano player, for me, it's kind of nice to not hear piano. But yeah, something different for, or whatever, just a different texture or something like that. But just something so that we know, okay, we go from this to this, especially in such like a pared down version of it. So can you do that? Can we start his solo? Do you know the melody? Can you play the melody at the beginning of your solo and then go from that? Start with the melody and then just change it a little bit, okay? You don't have to play the full melody, but like a few minutes. Okay, so you ready on the solo? Actually, no. Can we do the last, like, let's do the transition.
So
It could happen. That part? To me or to you? It could happen. Do that.
Wait, what is it?
All I did was.
Oh, that's 4, I think.
so last one.
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Wait, I can't do it.
Yeah, I know, it's weird stuff. Don't worry, don't sing. Now you guys are gonna switch. Keep going. Okay, let's do that again, okay? We'll all sing it.
Yeah.
Wait, I think I got it.
2, 1, 2, 3.
It could happen to me.
We all do this. We look at the changes on our iRealBook app, and
It's
it's
probably
like,
my 4th time playing this tune.
but you know it. As a bass player, that's the second time with this tune, you should know it, and you do. You're good enough. I know you. I mean, I don't know you, but I know you. It's a challenge. And if it's not in the second time that you can learn it at your level, I think you can get to that. I totally think so. You can have it back. I just did that for drama, but really, it's play through it once, use it, and then just 2 5s, 2 5s, 2 5s. This is where it goes. This is where it goes, and get that in your brain. Because then if I say, can you please play it? I think she should play it in D flat. Then you can say, I don't need my phone. I can do it in D flat. So it's a great skill to have. Now listen, I'm very guilty of doing that. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna learn, I'm just gonna look here. And it's so much easier, and then I can think about music and stuff. But it helps so much, it helps you learn it, helps you think about like the pathways of like where the bass line is gonna go and stuff. So I know you know it. Okay, so that was an awesome solo.
Thank you.
That was your best solo, I think. Because we heard the melody, but it was like you were reaching for other stuff. It was really nice. So this is the next question I have for you guys. What's your first approach to practicing a solo?
Outlining the chords.
Outlining the
Yeah.
chords. So like outlining the chord tones, right?
Yeah.
Any ones in specific, or just like which ones, any order?
Like the one, like 1 through 5, and then if it's like a 7 chord,
1,
7
3,
as well.
5, 7?
Yeah.
Great. So outlining chord tones, 1, 3, 5, 7, right? What else? I mean, there's a lot of possibilities.
This is the weirdest thing ever.
What other possibilities? What else can you do?
Transcribe solos.
Transcribe solo is huge, right? Like, so maybe you're working on this tune and then you transcribe like a sax solo, someone playing it. That's awesome. What else? Excuse me.
This kind of goes with what I said earlier, but like
Yeah.
also like digital patterns and stuff. Digital patterns along with the chords. So doing it in time with the chords. So instead of just kind of like
playing them over.
playing them the chord tones,
Yeah,
kind of doing it in time, maybe with different rhythms and.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
'Cause rhythm is such a huge aspect of jazz. In fact, it's like the most important. Rhythm, time feel, swinging, stuff like that. So chord tones are huge. A big thing too, connecting the chord tones. So if you're just gonna play like thirds and sevenths of each chord throughout the solo, then finding the thirds and sevenths that connect. As a piano player, it's very easy for me because, like if we go to F, it's the first chord, E flat, da 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 da. Those are the chords,
Are
right?
you talking about like common tones?
Common, yeah. So I got third and seventh of E flat major, and then third and seventh of C7. So I would practice. Those two have a chord. So on piano it's really easy because when you have those thirds and sevenths that are close, you just like keep your finger there or something.
Yeah.
It's like less of a concept. So I definitely recommend for you guys to practice that stuff on the piano so you can see it, But practicing those chord tones, the big one is also just practicing the melody. That was a killing solo. You play the melody and then you just played something that kind of sounded like the melody. That's how this all started. All chord tone stuff and scale stuff is like additional information. And we teach it as jazz educators because it's really helpful and it helps you like formulate your solo. But the core of it is really like playing the melody and then playing some stuff that sounds like the melody and then going away from that and coming back, tension and release. But practicing those thirds and sevenths and practicing intervals, especially for like horn players and sax players, intervals, bass players too. On piano it's really easy to play a low interval and a high interval right after. But on sax, it's much more difficult. On bass, it's much more difficult to jump around. That really nice bass line that you played and sing a song, that's hard, and it sounded really solid. So, but on piano, it'd be super easy. So you guys know what it means to play intervals, what a big interval is, what that means musically for you. So I want you to think about intervals, thirds and sevenths. Gotta go.
Yeah, I actually
Get
have
out
to
of
go
here.
because I have city.
Okay. So can we do that tune again? Who solos after you?
That would be me.
Sorry.
Perfect. Do you solo on this tune?
No.
Can we do a tune? What tune do you play on? Do you play Barrel Never?
Actually, they'll never heard. I mean,
Yeah, and then sing a
Yeah.
song. Can we actually do the Kenny Garrett tune?
yeah.
Okay. Can we,
I need the paper.
Oh, yeah.
can we start on his solo?
My solo.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't need it? It's over there if you do.
Alright. Starting my solo.
I couldn't grab a tempo from that.
The joy of running off.
Is that fast?
I'm cool with that. For my chops, go ahead. This is the last band I'm playing in.
5, 6, 6.
so we've got 3 chords, right? They're like power chords. They're super fun to play over.
Yeah.
And this solo, and it happened too in the thing, it wants to build, right? It wants to be huge. How do you build? What can you do to build? That's not just volume, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can like go up or higher in range, or if you play faster.
Yep, higher in range and maybe play faster. What's another less,
Start off simple and increase
Okay.
from there.
yep, yeah, just like less to more, right? So save some of the stuff, like, and you were doing some kind of rhythmic stuff near the end, which was cool too. It's like you kept doing it. Save it longer so that when it gets bigger, it's a big deal,
Okay.
you know? The other thing too is the harmony. Like, you know, there's but what if one time you play this? A sharp 9 of the E chord. For you, what is it? D chord. Here's your first chord of D. Because you're in B flat.
B5. First chord is a sharp.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. So, but playing the sharp 9 or like it's about wrong notes and right notes. This groove is so hard. He's playing it so hard. That's where you can go into like bluesy, a little bit out territory, take the risk, so that you don't have to go, it doesn't have to be like the highest, fastest solo to build. It can just get dirtier and dirtier. It's a dirty solo.
Okay.
In the best way. This is your big moment. I feel like I have no idea what time it is and I want to do this solo one more time. Can we do it in like 47 seconds?
We can try.
Can we do the best solo of your life in 47 seconds? Okay. No pressure. And then when you're done, what's the cue for you when you're done? Is there a certain set?
Not really.
Okay.
It just kind of goes into the next solo, which is Blake's.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. I'll just cut you off at some point.
Alright.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can go.
1, 2, 3. That's starting to build. That's nice. I think you could do like 15 more choruses. Really, it's like it's made for that. Push it even further. Like I know it's like practicing certain fingerings too, but it's actually kind of hard to find like the absolute wrong note that like is kind of the perfect wrong note, you know? Because it's secretly the right note.
Yeah.
So like, and then mess around with that instead of like where we work so hard in chord tones and playing inside the changes. Also find the outside of the changes note that's like really good.
Keep pushing it. Sounds great, guys, though. Really good playing.
Thank
Really
you.
nice playing. Take a break. Thank you guys so much. I wish we could do more. This is for you. Thank you. This is from